What's up, Pickle? Seen you in forever. Is it on my headphone? Can you hear me good? Yeah, it's cool, man. I didn't do much. I haven't been doing much streaming in general. Been a little busy. Been planning out. We're going back to Japan soon. It's a little echo. Hmm. I wonder if it's got to do with the audio on the TV. You know, it might also have to do with the fan. I'll back the fan up. I don't have AC and it's like 95 degrees in here, so just backseat and shit. No, I don't know why, man. It's weird. I need to turn it on to something else and see if I can hear what it is. See if I can fix it. Oh yeah, she's separated from her friend right now. Her friend's in a frenzy because she's why don't I have AC? Because this is an old skating rink, and I'll show you if you look around a little bit. It goes out for forever. And just to run my little fan and my couple of things that I have right there, it costs like $800 a month in power. I have AC. It's just insanely expensive to run. So back when we used to run the rink, we had to pay like it was like 2-3 grand a month just to run the AC in this joint. So and I don't want to pay that. So I guess the better explanation is I have AC. I just don't. I can't afford it. It's too freaking hot. I'd rather sweat it out. I'm glad it's better now. See, I can't. My boy's shaking here for some reason. I'm gonna drop it down a little bit. See if I can get a little bit better. That's wildly expensive. The Alabama Power monopoly is disgusting, wildly disgusting. I cannot stand it. They charge 3 times the rate that they charge residential for a business. And this isn't even, it's not even a business. I'm just in here taking photos of crap to put on eBay. I've got an apartment here, but you know, I don't tell nobody about that. What's everybody up to tonight? How you been, Pickle Man? You been scooting? You like my fancy, I got a gimbal. I got one of those AI tracker gimbals. So now I can like walk around. Just got back from the skate park. Sounds fun, dude. I'm not too far off from you. It's midnight here in Alabama. I think we're on the same time zone, depending on what side of Houston you're in. Yeah, I'll probably be up till 3 in the morning. It's usually about the time I go to bed. It's too hot during the day to get anything done. If you're in Texas, you know how flipping hot it is right now. And if you're in a building that has no windows and no AC, you kind of have to work at night. Ah, shoot, I'm sorry, dude. I wonder why it's so long. I'm going through Streamlabs. so I can actually see it a little bit better on the screen. But I don't know why I'm even doing that. I don't know. Can you guys see it on screen? Hi, man. See you later, Pickle. Good seeing you, bro. Yeah, it's just, nah, it's good, dude. It's good. It's always good to see you. Glad you stopped by to say hello, man. Adios, Jane. Why is this? I don't know why my gimbal is sitting here doing some weird stuff. It's like flipping back and forth. I guess it's like just trying to track me. I don't know. Enjoy the street. Stream. Yeah, I was about to say, I will enjoy the streets. Talking about me getting kicked out or what? Nah, I'm just joking, dude. I will. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's as hot here as it is over there in Texas, I bet. If I had to take a guess. It's flipping spicy over here. It's getting up to, I think I got in the car today and it's at like 103, 104, something like that. It's not really that hot. It's like 98, but it's still wildly hot. Nasty hot. Yeah, that's the reason why I do the vertical. I'm not massively fond of vertical, but you know, it gets all the people who are like me and can't stop doom scrolling. Appreciate you stopping by though. It's always fun to talk to somebody. Hardly anybody ever talks on here. What is playing on the TV? A party to my death. I don't know what the hell that is. You like my grandma shirt? This bad boy has shoulder pads. I found it at the bins the other day. It's like a nice like chambray denim. So I was like, you know, it's goofy enough to wear. Some old lady's gambling shirt. It's probably her lucky gambling shirt. New offer: $16 for Tommy Bahama chino shorts. I think I got them up for 20. I think I'll take that. Always down for a good offer. Plus, I need the money. The bills, they do cometh. Yeah, I got them up for 20. I'll take that. One dumb. Your boy, one dumb fuck. That's not the best one I've heard. That's a decent one. This one got me the other day. What the fuck one got me the other day? I'm trying to think of who it was. Is it the fan that's like blowing around this flipping thing? This is like killing me. I bought this Flow 2 Pro so it wouldn't be so janky, but damn, I feel like it's getting blown around. No, I don't think it is. What up to your boy, one dumb fuck? I like a good, I like a good giggle, bro. It's a good one. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, that's some of them. I have a pretty good debt pile going. That's some of them. This is all. I got a lot of Harley stuff. So these are all brand new with tags Harley T-shirts. This, if you see it behind you or behind me, or if you see it at all on the thing, it's not on the internet. Nobody can even see it or buy it right now. It's my huge problem that I have. But all of these are Harley T-shirts. These are like some Nautica stuff from like the '90s that have all the tags on it that came with it. That's some Frogs Hog stuff, and then I've got a pile of leather daddy jackets there, leather daddy moto jackets that I've got to get going. Nobody buys those. It came with a lot of stuff I bought. And then I'm not going to get to it anytime soon. Sportswear, I don't really have a boatload of sportswear. It's mostly Harley for anything that's like one particular thing. I mostly sell vintage. How old am I? 31. I just turned 31. What's today? Today's 16th, 3 days ago. My kid turns 1 next month, so it's a good age. And then I got a bunch of Carhartt stuff. I have a ton of Carhartt stuff. I got Carhartt. I do vintage Carhartt. I got a lot of outdoor wear, like Patagonia. I love the finger. That's another good one. Jesus Christ, bro. Um, I got a lot of Patagonia. I got a metric boatload of North Face. Whoa, there's a loud boom just now. Check the weather and see if we're supposed to be getting rain. A little spooked by that. It's not trash day. I shouldn't be here in the dumpster get dumped. Yeah, I'll take that offer too. 2 pair of pants. Who do I live with? Who do you live with? My wife and my son. Nobody's. My wife and son are asleep right now, or my wife is guaranteed to not be asleep. My son better be, or it's gonna be another long night. I he's about to be 1 years old next month on the 8th. So he's not quite sleeping all through the night yet. It's been a long time since we got a whole long night of sleep. That night, I try to do my part. My wife, when he wakes up in the middle of the night, I try to grab him and hand him to the wife. She can feed him. She breastfeeds, so I can't do it myself. But she don't pump or anything like that. She just does natural, which has been quite some fun. Sportswear? No, I don't. I think I've answered that though. I don't have any sportswear. I had some Alabama apparel, but I've already got rid of that. There's always time. And I'll say, no matter what anybody ever tells you, it's the best thing that ever exists. I can't tell you what motherhood's like, but I can tell you fatherhood's the best thing that ever happened to me, bar none. It's the whole reason I'm up at 12:08 a.m. sweating it in half trying to make money. I'm going to take old boy. I'm going to take my little guy to Japan. It's my wife and I's favorite place to go. I got a brother that lives over there, so we go visit him. And this time we're planning to go for like a month and a half. I'm going to try to like vlog it and stream it, but I gotta get somewhere. I gotta have some people watching at some point to be able to get to that point. We've already been, we've been once. It was the best thing I ever did. It was the most fun I ever had in my life. I don't know about the most fun, but it's definitely the coolest place I've ever been in my life. Give me some water. I'm blasting. It's hot. I've got cooler stuff to film, but nobody ever wants to see it. Nobody ever wants to see all my arcade games. I don't know about set. I don't know about set. I got to figure out the how to make money and not have to go to work thing. But eBay seems like a pretty decent route to that. I've made some decent money on eBay thrifting. Basically I thrift and sell clothes for a living right now, and it's been good and it's been bad. It's been bad lately, but you know, it didn't take much to change that. I got way too much inventory to change that. Oh my God, why does this keep tripping out? This thing's like tripping. I'll flip it up a little bit. Maybe that'll calm it down. I think it's in the stream of the of this fan blowing on me. Maybe. My life, I would say though, I will say it's decently set. I've got my boy and I've got my wife, so I could say it. You know, I want to watch my boy grow up, but I could say it's been real good so far. That's for sure. I've been blessed as mess. That's not an exaggeration. That and I go around to thrift stores and pick stuff up all day, trying to sell it on the internet. So it's a heck of a lot better. I've always been like a manager at like cell phone companies. Was a district manager for a cell phone company for a while, and I was a car salesman. That was a lot of fun. I made a lot of money doing that. That was real fun, but I worked like 75 hours a flipping week. I didn't have any time to spend with my wife. Didn't have any time to enjoy the money that I made. So I'll take making less money and spending pretty much all day with my wife and son as a win. I'll do that for sure. No, I just want to make enough money to where we can go to Japan a couple times a year. That's what I really want to do. Is I want to buy and sell vintage clothing to Japan, American clothing, because they love that. And then I want to buy things in Japan and sell it over here. That would be the goal. That would be what I'd really like to do. And it's coming somewhat true. Last time I was there, I spent like $200 worth of stuff, and I turned it into like $1,500, $1,600. So, I mean, you can do it. And that was before I really knew anything about anything. That's anything I knew anything about clothes. I used to not dress myself, which, I mean, if you look at me right now, you would assume that hopefully I would dress myself. But I know a little bit. I know a little bit about patterns and whatnot, and kind of what trends, and what's sort of trendy right now, especially in Japan. Anything Y2K, anything vintage. That's what Japan wants. That and I like 3D print. I like to do a lot of 3D print. I got some humongous. I think it'll come in and get them into focus. Got gigantic 3D printers, and I airbrush. I do a little bit of airbrushing. I just like to get into stuff. I like to work with not really work with my hands, but you know, I like to get into stuff. Sukanai a little bit. They speak a little bit. They really want to speak English. It's like a huge thing they want to do over there. So there's a lot of opportunity there. I've got a brother. I've got a brother that lives over there. That and my wife and I have been nonstop trying to learn Japanese for the past like year and a half. I don't. I can read katakana and I can read hiragana. I don't know a lot of the hiragana words, and I know maybe 100 kanji. So I know a little bit. Sukanai. Hold on. It'd be hita. It'd be Nihongo wa heta desu ne, which means my Japanese is not very good, isn't it? But I'm trying to learn it. What's up, Bailey? How it do? We're not getting a whole lot of work done, but we're hanging out. It is incredibly, it is insanely confusing And the problem with it, on top of that, I'm doing pretty good. We're talking about. I'm planning a trip to Japan. She was asking me, or somebody else was asking me about. Sylvia's asking me about Japanese. It's incredibly backwards. Not only is or like the words, how they talk is different. They talk like Yoda speaks. It's the easiest way to put it. Like, and that, not only that, everything's like contextual. So like they leave words out left and right, and they assume that you'll pick it up by the context of the conversation. So like they have whole conversations with like two words in some of this stuff. It's wild. That and then like kanji, that's a whole nother thing. Kanji is uh, there's over 90,000 kanji. They don't use them all. They don't even come close to using that. The most typical person I think uses 4,500 kanji in their life typically. But still, it's figuring out which ones are what to learn. How are you supposed to learn? How are you supposed to learn to speak fluently and actually speak to people? I'm trying to. I'd like to get into speaking with more people, and that's why when we go over there, we're going in January. When I go over there in January, I want to spend more time actually trying to speak to people and try to uh, get into the culture a bit more. Which the culture is awesome. That's what I love about it. I've always been a big, I love everything, anything about America. And then I went to Japan. I'm like, holy crap. Everyone here is so nice and so accommodating and so friendly. My brother speaks fluent Japanese and is married to a Japanese woman now. He is an English teacher in Japan. He speaks very good Japanese. He actually doesn't even speak English most of the time. He generally speaks Japanese over there. He and his wife speak in Japanese to each other. His mother-in-law does not. His mother-in-law and father-in-law do not speak English barely at all. Whereas I'm from Alabama and my parents speak redneck, so they met at the wedding, and that was pretty great. We didn't get to go, unfortunately. My wife is too pregnant, so that does explain why he lives there. He met her while he was there, though. He's always his whole life. He went to Disney World when we were kids. When we went to Disney World when we were kids, he and I both were really, really interested in the Japan land and Epcot, but like he was obsessed with Japan and Epcot to the point of where he made it his life's mission to be an English teacher over there in Japan, and he's been doing it for 3 years now. It took him like a solid year to get fluent, and he knew a little bit when he got over there, but he learned he immersed himself in it so hard. And his wife, he actually didn't meet his wife over there. He met her through a buddy of theirs. They had a mutual friend. She lived there, he lived here, and they had a mutual friend that he met through college in the Japan culture class. And they hit it off and ended up meeting in real life and or meeting in person, real life. Everything's real life. I love it when people say that meeting in real life. Everything's real life. Meeting in person, and they fell in love, got married. It was a pretty good little story there. I met my wife at the Starbucks that she worked at, which that's also a good story. She came into my store one day. I was a manager over at T-Mobile across the road from her, and she came in, and I was with somebody at the time, and I still, for some reason, when I saw her, I was like, wow, that's a, I'm taken, I can't say that, something about that girl. And then, like, randomly, shoot, probably 6 months later, the person I was dating and with just for absolutely no reason left me, didn't tell me why, didn't say anything. We've been together for several months. Didn't say anything to me at all. Just, hey, I don't want to be with you anymore. And the long story to that, I, yeah, it's awesome. It really is. This woman is my soulmate by far. We've never had an argument. We've been together we're going on 5 years now. Been married for 5 years. We've been together since 17, November of 17, so a little bit longer than that. But The whole story of us getting together, like actually getting together, is even more hilarious. I her mother was super obvious. She could tell that she was into me and whatnot, and kept trying to give me her number while we were there. And while she came into my store to get an upgrade, and I was working for T-Mobile. I was a manager for T-Mobile, and I was like, nah, I'm with somebody. I'm with somebody. I don't do that. I'm loyal to the person I'm with. I don't do that. And she kept trying to give it to me, and I just wouldn't take it. And my assistant manager at the time, I was dating his wife's best friend, and he was like, maybe you want to keep it just in case, because he didn't like her, and the girl I was with. And he was like, you can keep it just in case. I'm like, nah, dude, I'm not keeping that. I'm not. I'm faithful to the girl I'm with. I'm not going to do that. And long story short, he kept it the entire time. And when she dumped me, he was like, I've got that number in the desk over there for that chick from Starbucks. If you wanna hit her up. And I'm like, do you really? And he went looking for it, and he could not find it for anything. And then he was like, I remember the name. I remember the name on the account. I'll look the account up. And so he looks the account up, and the account's got her mother, her brother, and her other brother on there, or a bunch of numbers. Really, we didn't even know exactly who they were. And he's like, no, it's this number right here. I know it's this number right here. And I'm like, are you sure about that? And he's like, yeah, I promise you, it's this number right here. And I was like, I did like that. There was a connection there, just a wild connection. I'll text it. So I texted the number, and I'm like, hey, this is Joseph from T-Mobile. I just wanted to say hey. And they were like, oh, really? It's good to hear from you. I was like, oh, yeah, yeah. And we talked for a little bit, and something didn't feel right. Something felt a little bit fishy about the whole situation, where I was like, am I talking to her, or am I talking to somebody else? Am I like, because everybody knows me. I talk to everybody that comes in the store. So anybody that's number we would have got a hold of, even if it wasn't even the right person, they would have known, oh, it's Joseph from T-Mobile. So I was like, all right, all right, all right. What what did they got? I knew she worked at Starbucks, because it was literally across the road, right across the road from me. I saw her. She saw me, and I saw her almost every day. We never really talked or anything, but every day I saw her. I knew she was there. So I'm like, what do they call? We've been talking for just a little bit, and I've been trying to like say things to like get it out of her. And I said, what do they call those drinks? Like, what? It's so weird how y'all do the sizes over there. What are the sizes again at the Starbucks? And they were like, I don't know. And I'm like, it's weird how you don't know the sizes at the Starbucks, right? Like, you should kind of know that, right? And they were like, no, I don't work at Starbucks. I work at Zaxby's. And I'm like, do you also work at Zaxby's and the Starbucks? They were like, no. And then they realized, I finally asked, I was like, are you the person? And they were like, oh no, this is her brother. And I was like, oh, I've been macking on you this whole time. Oh, this is a little awkward now. I was like, forget I messaged, bro. Good to talk to you. And I had talked to him while we were in the stores, why he was like talking back to me. His the phone that we upgraded. She was just in there with him. And I was like, oh, this is awkward. And then somehow he convinced me. He was like, no, 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 no. I told my sister, she's super into you. You need to talk to her. I'm going to give you her number. And I ended up, well, you see where we are. We have a kid now. We've been together for 7 years, but we met because I macked on her brother through text. It's still the best. It's better than any Tinder story you're going to come across. I tell you that. But I wouldn't take it back for anything. Everybody's got to have a crazy story. Oh, you see me sweating? Good God, it's hot. I got to make enough to make. I got to box in this little area. This whole area is where we used to have the arcade at, which all the arcade games are out there now on the skate floor. But because we don't run this place anymore. Yeah, it's definitely meant to be, is it not? I tell you, she's my soulmate all day long, every day of the week. She says we say the same things. She knows what I'm thinking before I say it. I know what she's thinking before she says it. like I said, we'll get up in the middle of the night. Like she breastfeeds and straight, not even bottles. There's no bottles or nothing. Every time he wakes up, I get up, I go get my boy, I get him, put him on her, and then I'll lay back down. I kind of go back to sleep for a minute, and she pokes me in the arm, and then I go, oh, okay, yeah, he's asleep. Pick him up, put him back. We do that 3 or 4 times a night, sometimes. But I want to help her. I want to do what I can for her. Oh yeah, all day long spiritual connection. We talked about it, and when I was real early into my life and my career, trying to figure out what I was going to do in life, my first thing I ever wanted to be was I wanted to be in the Army. I wanted to do the Army, and I ended up getting out of the Army because I have scoliosis, and nobody could catch that before then, and I can't do sit-ups. I can do everything else but sit-ups. I excelled in everything else but sit-ups. So, long story short with that, that and before that, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a marine biologist. We wanted the exact same things at the exact same time. Well, she was in school when I was in the Army. She was 3 years younger than me. What's up, Blake? She's 3 years younger than me. So we when she was I fell out of basics while she was in school still. So when I got out of that, I wanted to for a little bit of time I was like serious about, well, I'm going to go back, I'm going to do the Navy. The Navy doesn't have as rigorous a program, and I don't have to do sit-ups, and I can get through there, and I'm going to do nuclear in the Navy because I made high enough on my ASVAB. I was going to do nuclear in the Navy. At the exact same time, she was looking to do the exact same thing. And we both and we were in totally different parts of the country. Not parts of the country. We were in totally different parts of Alabama. I was in North Alabama. She was in South Alabama. And at the exact same time, we were both looking to do that thing is such a small field. We would have definitely met doing it. Every time we talked about it, and every time in our lives that we were both interested in something or wanted to do something, we were both going in the same direction and would have eventually met no matter what. Like, is it Alabama country? Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. Do I not sound very country? People usually make fun of me for it. It goes in and out. I spent a lot of time in South Alabama, and South Alabama is not quite as country. It's like Florida. South Alabama, she lived in like on the coast of South Alabama. So the lower you go into Alabama, the more it becomes the north. Funny enough, like Florida does. Florida is full of snowbirds. It might as well be the north. There's no difference between it. Are they? Let me check my phone real quick. There's some serious rumbling going on, and I don't think it's weather. I think it's I'm hoping it is. I've got security cameras around the whole building. I'm hoping it's the dumpster. There's definitely something banging around out there. Let's see. They've been getting weird about it. I couldn't get them. Oh, there better not be an earthquake. There's been so much stuff to do with that lately, though. There was an earthquake, or there's like a ton of volcanoes going off right now. I'm actually super freaked out about that because I don't know if you ever heard of the Nankai earthquakes, but yeah, every like 120 to 200 years, a gigantic earthquake happens in Japan that basically destroys it, and they're due for one right now. But there's been a lot of seismic activity. There's no volcanoes in Alabama. Nah, I think the closest we'd be to a volcano would be, there's not really any in America besides Yosemite and Washington, right? The one in Washington's gone off, and the one in Yosemite's active right now too, though. That's what I mean. There's everywhere around the world. There's been an eruption in Japan in the last 3 or 4 days now. And then there was a couple of eruptions there was one in Italy, if I'm not mistaken. There's been a lot of eruptions lately, like a ton. This has got to be the dumpster. They got to be dumping my dumpster right now. They're not. There's no one out there. It's weird. We get a lot of crackheads in these parts. Ooh, fell in. That would suck. That would really suck. I've seen some videos of some people being pretty dang close to some active volcanoes, and that's just not, it's not my cup of tea. I think Fuji has been active lately too. It's an active volcano. I think it's dormant most of the time, but it's been more active lately than it ever has been. It's been pretty darn active. Would you look at this? Would you what is this? What is this right here? What is going on here? She's in her lady time, so she's all wombly right now. She's been she's been lounging about. I've got her, and I've got another husky, and he's in the other room in there. She's in her times, and he's not neutered, so they can't be around each other right now. So she gets to lounge around with Dad for a while and hang out. I have to put the fan on her. Notice the fan is pointed directly at her, not at me. I'll sweat. She's too hot blooded. It's time of the every 6 months. Husky or dogs in general. Dogs do it in different phases. I didn't know this till I had dogs, but dogs do it about every 6 months, and it goes on for like 3 weeks, and it's horrible. It is absolutely terrible. She's good about it. She really doesn't cause me too much trouble, but she smells very strong right now when this happens, and it's not pleasant. It's like a, not to be gross, but it's like a beef and cheddar from the Arby's. It's not bueno. Not something I'm terribly fond of. But she can't help it. How's she supposed to do? What is she supposed to do? She's just, I want to get her fixed. We got to get her fixed, but it's a shame. She's full blooded. I hate to do that. I'd like to find her a little full blooded friend and have little full blooded puppies, but we're also talking about moving over to Japan at some point in time if we can make it happen, if I can make the business run good enough. And you're not getting her over there. There's no, well, first off, it's way too stressful for her. She has to be separated from us for like 6 months or something like that, or 6 weeks. I can't remember how long it is. It's a long time. They have to keep her in a kennel. They have to like watch her and make sure she doesn't have any like adverse reactions to certain vaccines. I want to live in Japan permanently. That'd be my dream. That'd be my wife and I really, ever since we went over there the first time, and I never thought about this before we actually visited there and like went there, but like you see all this stuff going on lately with like, I'm sure you see a bunch of people going to Japan and saying how great it is. I can't, all the reasons that people say it's worthless to me. The reason that I love it so much is that people are just so amazingly nice over there. There's no, like, I ran the skating rink that I'm standing in for 5 years, and I lived in it for 20. Like, my parents have owned it. They bought it when I was 10 years old. So I've dealt with the public my entire life. When I was 20 years old, we had it from 10 to 20. No, 10 to 20. I was here as a kid. Then I left and went and did my own thing for a few years, and then it's about 5 years or so. And then I came back and I ran it myself, and I took over from my parents for the last 5 years. And I have never been so depressed and so fed up with humanity in my entire life. Like, it used to be awesome. It used to be a great time. I used to love spending, like the kids, I love being able to teach. We were very specific about how we ran it. We kept it $5 to the day that we closed 2 years ago. $5 is how much it cost to come in here and skate the entire night. Because we knew that we're in Alabama and we're in rural Alabama, and like people don't have that kind of money. And the people who do have, the people who don't have the money is the people that we really wanted to be here. Favorite Japanese food when you went to Japan? Ooh, I did like Okono. Oh, hold on. I'm tongue tied. Taiyaki. I like taiyaki. I have to say, taiyaki is the best. It's the little fish that's full of custard. It's a little fish that's full of custard. Long story short, with all the rest of it, though, kids used to be a lot nicer than they are, and parents used to be a lot nicer than they are, and humans used to be a lot nicer than they are these days. Very. And, oh, geez. I got somebody sending me an eBay message. But people have gotten so. Oh, somebody want to return something. That's okay, as long as they're nice about it. I do returns. Never sad about that. But everybody's gotten so divisive in America and so political and so entitled to the point where it's like, I hate going out in public now. I'm apprehensive too. But they just don't do that in Japan. Everybody's so nice, so friendly, so sweet. Everybody's trying to be as nice as they possibly can, and it's a nice environment to raise a kid, is the way I look at it. And I want my kid to grow up. See, I don't pay attention to politics anymore either. There was a point in time where I was a little bit into it, but it's not even necessarily politics. It's everybody's just so divisive and so mean and ugly these days. Like, you go to the store and people are just so willing to, like, be super rude to you and rude to the people around you. And just, I don't know about everywhere, but I can tell you in Alabama, it's gotten so bad. It's gotten so bad. Every time I go out, I'm like, why are you being this way, people? Why can't everybody just, like, mind their own business and not be mean to people? Like, when we were running this rink, holy mess at, like, how things got. Like, I put it to you this way. The last 5 weekends that we were open, because we only opened up on the weekends. We were open Friday and Saturday. The last 5 weekends we were open, I had to call the cops every single weekend to have somebody escorted off the property because they just wouldn't leave. I never call the cops. I was the kind of person that was like, you can cuss me out as long as you're leaving. Leave. Go. Because, like, people their kid would try to fight, or their kid would, like, be puffing on a flipping dab pen or something, be 10, 12 years old, and obviously we didn't allow that. You can't do that. So I'd be like, you got to leave. You got to get out of here. Get your parents. Get out of here. And their parents would come up here and argue me to death, saying, "Nah, this is public property, man. I can stay here." And I'm like, "No, you can't. You got to go." And it just got to the point where I had to call the cops to come tell them, "Yeah, no, you do have to leave. This is private property. You can do whatever he wants to with it. This is his business. What are you talking about?" And I don't want to get bitter about it, you know? I don't want to be bitter about it. I hate it for the kids because we were the only thing for these kids to do in this entire town. We always have been since I was a young kid. We had us in the bowling alley, and the bowling alley is still open, but it's not the same. It's not a place where they don't let you loiter. You know, you can't just buy a ticket and come in for 4 hours and chill out with your friends on one of the benches and hang out. That, and you can't get dropped off anywhere around. Like, you have to have parents if you're under 18 around here. You cannot even go to our mall. We have a mall, and if you watch American Dad, they actually featured in my town. They featured our shopping mall on American Dad. I swear. But you can't go to the mall and loiter. You can't hang around the mall. You have to either go to a store and buy something or leave. Which is like, what is that? It's not even a mall. What are you talking about? Yeah, taiyaki is my favorite food over there. It's a fish. It's it's the best way to describe it. It's like a crispy donut in the shape of a fish full of custard. It's so good. It's so good. And I liked a lot of the stuff I had. I tell you, no, actually, and everybody talks about it on anything to do with YouTube, and it's because it's true. It's the best. But if you go to 7-Eleven over there, you can get a pancake sandwich off the shelf that they make every single day. That is the best thing I've ever had in my entire. That is actually that would be my favorite food. It's like it's 2 pancakes with butter and syrup inside there. Teriyaki chicken. Hey, teriyaki chicken's pretty banging too. It's good stuff. I had over there. They have karage, which is like a type of fried chicken that they do. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. Especially if you find some little old lady that's been making it for like 45 years off on a hillside. It's so good. Because we went to Tokyo, but we spent a lot and most of our time in Kyoto and Hiroshima, and that was super cool. You know, I'm not even gonna lie. I was so uncultured that I thought you couldn't go to Hiroshima because of things and stuff. But that's totally untrue. And it's actually we went to the atom bomb museum and all that. That'll change your perspective on some stuff. It's pretty sad, but my brother lives in Hiroshima. That's actually where he lives. He lives in a prefecture near Hiroshima that is Mihara, which is super cool. If you ever see any pictures of like the Torii Gate, like the big red, like I don't know, it's hard to describe what a Torii Gate is. It's like the your typical Japanese structure looking thing. It's like you walk through them, kind of like a how do you describe a Torii Gate? Anyway, there's one really famous one that's off in the water that everybody goes and takes pictures of. He lives like right beside it. And then he lives real close to Onomichi too, which PewDiePie actually just went to Onomichi the other day. Him and all the other famous Japanese YouTubers, because he's a Japanese YouTuber at this point, at this rate. But it's no wonder. Why not be? Because it's the greatest. I'm telling you, if you ever want to go anywhere, just you don't know where you want to go, and you want to like go on a trip somewhere. If you can ever afford to and like plan it out, go to Japan because it's the best time you'll ever have in your life. Not only that, and the lesser so on this. I mean, I hate it for them, but like our money, our currency is worth so much more than their money. So if you go over there, we went with like $2,000, and we were there for close to 3 weeks or about 2.5 weeks, and I couldn't get rid of that money. Like we ate everything that I wanted to eat. We had Wagyu in a nice restaurant. I ate every day whatever I wanted to eat. We went and did a bunch of cool stuff, like traveled all over the country, went up and down the country, and I still had money when we came back. I was like, oh my God, you can't get rid of money over there. The most expensive thing about is getting there, is the flight. And if you're really good about it, like we're getting tickets. I have a scheme with my business where I buy when I do my shipping labels on eBay, I buy my shipping labels on a business card, like a Delta card, and I get miles for it. So I've already been paid for the shipping. I'm just turning around and I'll turn around and pay it off with what they paid me, but I get miles that way. And I actually earned enough miles to go on the trip this year. So we're gonna go with straight up just points that I earned on Delta. But you can get it if you really watch it like in January and you know how to do it. Like you leave on a Tuesday and you get back on a Tuesday. You can go out of Alabama, which is got to be cheaper to go out of like Houston or Dallas over there. You can go out of Alabama, and it's costing us right now, I think $750 a ticket, and that's round trip. So that's I'm gonna tell you right now, you if you can get the tickets, you can go for a solid, which is no time at all, but you could go for a solid week over there on $1,000, and you would see anything you want to see and do whatever you want to do. You can't go to Tokyo gets a little wild. You can get expensive in some parts of Tokyo, but is Alabama fun? It's hot. I love a lot of people who live here. I don't know about fun. I have a lot of fun, but I have a lot of hobbies, and they don't necessarily. There's not necessarily anything about Alabama that's fun. I'd have to say the beach, the South Alabama is really fun. That's where I met my wife. Is down in Daphne, Alabama. It's fun. There's a lot of stuff to do down there. Where I'm at, and I'm around the Birmingham area. No, it's not very fun. There's not a lot to do here. You, we used to have a really cool Galleria in Birmingham that I like to go to all the time. That like had a ton of cool stores in it, and I like to go hang out there. You can't go there anymore; you get shot. They got violent over in them parts. Yeah, probably. Yeah, you could say that. Is that the problem? Not really. I don't know. It's pretty ghetto over in Birmingham. Actually, I'll tell you this way: Birmingham is the murder capital of the U.S. If you didn't know that, or Bessemer, which is in Birmingham, is actually technically per capita. There are more murders in Bessemer, Alabama, than there are in Chicago, technically per capita, which is saying something. Which, I got family that works in Bessemer. You just can't be there after dark. You don't want to do that. Which I have to say, where I lived down in South Alabama was really, really good. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's real. It was super beautiful. Rent was super high. Everything was nice, and then it wasn't. It just like that. There were shootings and things around us, and you're like, oh my God, this is not good. I'm paying. We got up to $1,600 a month in rent for a 2-bedroom apartment, and there's a shooting outside. This is not good. That's why we left, because I had to come back and run the skating rink for my parents. I had to come help them with that, and then it didn't help though. I'm gonna tell you that right now. A lot of people don't know that Alabama's really, it's all the poverty. There's a boatload of poverty. The I think the average income is, it's got to be less than 15K a year. And then, when you have people that are making that much, it invites people to do things they shouldn't be doing. Do There's a lot. There's a lot to that. And we've got some seriously, how much an hour there? I think it's the same as everywhere else. It's 8.25 is the minimum wage. But like, when we were open, I was paying people $12 an hour. I just couldn't hire anybody to save my life. I got it. If you stayed with us for a while, I'd pay 15. But I don't make it. I don't know. I haven't held a job in a while. Somebody pay me job. I just do this, and I make okay with it. I gotta do some more marketing, and I gotta really get on with it and put my stuff online and get more consistent with it. That, and we've actually got, there's like a whole nother business inside this business. My part of it's clothing. My father has collected, it's real hard to see in the background, but my father has collected arcade games my whole life, with the intent to eventually sell them in retirement and fix them up. And it got out of hand, and we're now up to like 260, 270 arcade games that we've got to work on. Most of them work, a lot of them work, some of them don't, but work on, get them running, and sell them. And that's going to be the other part of like my income at some point in time, if we can ever get around to it. It's so hot right now that I hate dragging him down here. He's 60 something, 64 years old, I think now. It's, this heat is unbearable for me. I can only imagine how unbearable it is for him. He's here. You just can't. You can't drag him out from under a fan most of the time. He's not here right now, obviously. But big old arcade games like this one. This is my favorite. I'll leave it over here so I can. I do play it on stream every once in a while, but sometimes people tune in for it. Sometimes they don't. So I have to stick to. What's productive sometimes. Sometimes do my parents live in? Yeah. They live in their own home. Yeah, I don't live with my parents. I mean, technically, I live on their property-ish, but we don't live in the same house. We live in separate domiciles. I haven't lived with my parents since I was 20. I moved out when I was 20. I moved out, did the 20, probably 20. I was able to drink. No, I wasn't able to drink yet, so it was before 20. I was able to drink when I moved down to the beach. I moved down to the beach when I was younger. That's where I met my wife and all that. I got sick and tired of having nothing. Well, I'd say there's just nothing to do around here. I got sick and tired of having nothing to do around here and being bored as hell 24/7. That, and I went through a little early love that messed me over and abused me and cheated on me and did everything else that I thought we was going to be together. We were engaged and everything else. And when that fell through and broke off, I wanted to get out of this town and move away. So I did. I ended up wildly enough living with I want to say random guy because I sure didn't know him and nobody I knew but my sister knew him. And I thought my sister really knew him. They were living with this guy. I thought that like they had known him for a long time. Apparently not. Apparently he was like an old friend of her husband's from like a while ago that they worked with for a little bit. But we ended up being like, that guy is like my best friend. Everybody goes through heartbreak. It happens. You have to. You have to know who's not the right person so that you can appreciate the right person when they come along. That's just how that works. If you don't have somebody show you what it isn't, you'll never know what it is. You'll never appreciate the person when they come into your life. That's how I look at it. You want to appreciate the real one, because when the real one comes around, you know what it is. You know who it is. You know when your soulmate steps into your life. Like I said, when she rolled into that Starbucks that day, or when she rolled into that T-Mobile that day, I could tell that for some reason, something was like, that's my wife. That's my future wife. I could not live without my wife. I couldn't, I couldn't exist without my wife and my son now. They're every, every bit of my soul. We're two halves of the same whole. It's cliche, but it's just the truth. It's genuinely the truth. I couldn't, I couldn't wake up without. We've actually so much so. People say that they have to have their space and they have to have their own time. We are one. They say that you have to have their own time, and you hear people like complain about, well, I need to get away from my husband. I need to get away from my wife for a little bit, or God, she won't get out of me and my wife and I. Since we got together and she moved in with me way back then, we have been apart two times. Two times. She took a trip one time for a day down over to Louisiana with my sister, and the entire time hated every second of it because we were away from each other because I had to work. And then the other time was when we got married. When we got married, she stayed in a different place for the night so we could do it traditionally, and we see each other the next day and all that stuff. It's the only two times we've been, and I mean literally been apart at all except for going to work and coming home, doing something like that. That's the only, I'll put it this way, it's the only night we've ever not spent with each other. And I couldn't imagine it. I can't go to sleep without her beside me. It just doesn't work. It doesn't happen. It is, couldn't do it. Like I wanted to do some business trips to Japan, but when she was pregnant, but couldn't do it. Can't get away from her for that long. I couldn't imagine her being over here by herself, or I couldn't, not because I'm like afraid she'd do something, just because it's like, I can't imagine not going through my day and not seeing her. Genuinely, we are one. That is the best way to put it. By far. And she'd say the same thing. We're one of those people. We went on a cruise, and I want to go on another cruise so we can do the honeymoon game again, because they do it for various, how long you've been together, if you've been together for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, and they get a bunch of different people. I swear. Oh yeah, we definitely gonna have more children. We're gonna give some time to recover from him, and have some time where he eventually isn't still sucking titty. She can have some time to rest and not have to deal with that. But when she's, we want to give them a good maybe year and a half, 2 years between them, and then we're gonna have another one. We three at least, and if we just really feel like it, and we think we can deal with it, maybe a fourth one is what we talked about. But she never wanted children before she met me. She never thought about having children before she met me, which I never thought about having children before I met her. But my little dude is a spitting image of an exact like clone of the best of both of us. So we were like, holy mess, this is awesome. We got to keep having these things. In my opinion, everybody's got a different meaning of life. That little dude is my meaning of life. Is to grow that little kid and give him the best time I can get him, and grow him for make his life, give him a better start than I had. I had a good start. She had a rough childhood. I had a good start. My parents have been awesome. They've been the best parents that I've ever run into. But, you know, there's some things that I can see that I want to do a little bit different than they did. It's just, all I think life's about is working out the generational kinks and making your kid's life, fixing the things that you wish would have went different in your life, and helping them through it. And that's it's awesome. It's the greatest thing ever. Being a parent is, you can't understand it until you're a parent, and then it's the best thing you've ever done in your entire life. I'm telling you. So the day that kid entered this world, I could not understand being a parent. By far, by far the best thing that ever happened to me. Besides my wife. My wife's the best thing for that. And she agrees. Same thing with her. Oh, you hot? Are you hot? Okay. Panting away. This AI camera thing is so weird. Anywhere I walk, it follows me. It's one of those gimbals. I bought it the other day because I needed something from when we start filming to go to Japan, and I wanted to get a little bit more serious into like streaming and try to build some sort of a channel. I do a lot of the reason why my channel name is Joseph's Bizarre Adventures is because I figured I have that so many things that I do and get into that are just so wild compared to like everyone else I talk to. It's like, why not film it and make something out of it? Like, I sell vintage clothing and thrift vintage clothing for a living on eBay, which is, people do that. A lot of people do that. I do all of it out of a skating rink from the 1980s, which not a lot of people do that. That's a little bit more unique. We buy and sell and repair arcade games by the mass, which he gets even a little bit further out there. Then I 3D print, I airbrush, I'm learning Japanese, all this stuff. I felt like it was enough of a there's enough going on to try and make something out of it. Like, and the things that I get into and the things that I find are wild, like these. These are industrial 3D printers that I picked up for, I kid you not, $300 for three of them. I met a guy on Facebook Marketplace and got a hold of three of them. I already was into 3D printing, so I already was familiar with it, but me and the dude talked for a while, and he ended up letting me have it for like next to nothing. So I was like, holy mess. But these puppies, like, the stuff you can print with these is humongously wild. Like, she's not the biggest thing I've ever printed. The biggest thing I've ever printed was I have it in the, she's a little bit risque looking, but why is my camera, the light is too hot. That's what it is. Let me change the light. Well, come on now. Oh, it's not tracking. That's what it is. I have to hit the other button to do this. So the only thing about the flow is to change the lighting. Ooh, that just got hotter. There we go. Let me cut this off. Let's see here. It just got worse. No, I'm using a cell phone. I'm actually using an ancient iPhone 8 Plus because I was going to use my phone to take photos. I've got a 12 Pro. It's just not going to pick it up. It's not going to pick it up. Anyway, she's huge. She is a gigantic model of, oh my God, Yoroichi from Bleach, I think. But she's all 3D printed. I made her. And the detail is wild on her. You know what? Let me do this. I can turn the camera around, and I bet it probably will look a bit better. Back camera. Let me drop my thing here. Do this. Let's see if I can do this. Should look better through the back. Yeah, look a lot better through the back camera. But yeah, she's wild. She's huge. I'll do a bit of 3D printing. I do airbrushing. Like she goes in the background. I haven't finished her up yet. I've got to finish her head, but let me see. Yeah, it's Lady Death. I've got her done pretty much, and she's massive too. Let me see if I can show you how big she is comparatively. Yeah, I got a ton of coffee cups I got to take down, but this is how big. Woo! I about broke her. That's how big Lady Death is. And then I don't have Shigo's head on her right now, but this is Shigo from Kim Possible. Still, not the biggest things that I have printed, wildly enough. Biggest thing, yeah, oh yeah, I printed that with one of those 3D printers. Let me see if I can turn. Oh yeah, let's say to turn it back around. Back. Yeah, I printed her with those 3D printers. Yeah, those right there. Nope, those bad boys right there. I have a very redneck setup because when I started doing it, I couldn't afford it. I just got a little Saturn II, the one in the corner, which I still print a lot of stuff on. Actually, I printed Lady Death on the Saturn II, and it's a lot of different prints. I had to print. She's a bunch of different pieces, and then I airbrushed her individually and put her all together. I got a little airbrushing thing. I've never done any of that in my life before I got a hold of that. I thought it was cool, and I watched somebody do it one time, and I was like, I want to get involved in that. I always like little figures and stuff. Like, I've been thinking about, I did these on stream the other day, and I eventually, if I can get enough people in and actually have some small, which, it's a stretch, but if I can ever get to the point where I make some small amount of revenue, I was going to give these away. I can't afford to ship them all right now. That's why I don't, but I painted all these on stream the other night. These little dudes. These various little creatures. They're all, I airbrushed them all. I hand airbrush everything. They look a little bit, I've never really sold anything. I've never put anything up, to be totally honest with you. I want to sell stuff. I just have never got around to putting it on the internet. What kind of creatures? They're what are they called? Oh my God, geckos. I've got a bunch of different files for a bunch of different stuff. I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of files that I've gotten from, I sub to various Patreons, and they'll give you the files every month, and you print them out from there. But there's a pile of them things. All these up here, these are all those. And there's some other stuff. I made my own little like paint box, and I printed all the stands for all the airbrushes and all my paints and stuff. I made those and printed those. I make my own stuff. I like to tinker. That's what I mean. Like I've got all this stuff. I have really cool, and I've taken all the video. I'm going to make some more video for it, but I actually have the coolest suit that I've ever seen in my entire life, and I custom made all the buttons for it. Hold on, I'll drag it out. It's sitting right here. I needed to go. Long story short, we're not on cool terms with my wife's parents. They're not very good people. Long to that. They're just not very nice to her. And we had to go to her brother's wedding, and I wanted to make sure when I showed up, I looked good. So I started hunting down. I never really had a suit. Never really paid too much attention to needing a suit. So I started hunting down a uh, a suit, and I found one on eBay that fit me because it's very hard to find things that fit. Like they get expensive in my size for some reason. I guess a lot of people have my size. They get very expensive. But I found believe it or not, a Cartier vintage tweed suit, and I paid like $150 for it, except for a couple of the buttons were missing. And I was like, I'm going to 3D print, I'm going to design, make, and 3D print my own buttons, custom made for this suit. And I did it all. And I airbrushed them and everything. Hold on, I'll show them to you. I made a video about this. All right, I haven't put it online yet. I've got to edit it all together and actually start making the videos for these things. I work on these arcade games too. I want to start making videos for that. But let me show you the suit. The suit's pretty badass. Ugh. Ugh. I've got it in a tote so that I don't mess it up. It's from the 1970s. So, let me see. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna focus it in. I'm gonna hold it on the thing so you can actually see. Should be able to at least. I'll pop it open and then I'll show you the buttons. The buttons are the coolest thing I think about it. Ugh. Yeah, I got that, and I thrifted up a pair of, these are called Churches. They're a company that, and they fit me wildly enough, but it's a company that they got bought out by Prada. So these are like bespoke, handmade shoes that just so happen to go with my suit, and they fit me perfectly. And I paid $11 for them. These are like $1,400 shoes. It just so happened to go with the whole thing, but I think the suit is legit. I'm gonna take the thing off here. I'm gonna just flat out show you. Snap it off. All right, hold on. I'll show you this thing. So this is the suit. It's a three-piece. So it's the pants, a vest, and the vest has the custom buttons on it as well. But it's it's pants, a vest, and the suit jacket. But check these out. Hold on. It's hard to get them into focus. See if I can zoom in and get them into focus. Yeah. They're all the parts. My favorite show is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They're all the parts to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And those symbols around the outside of it are a saying from it. I custom made them. I printed them. And then I painted them and I lacquered them and everything. And then the center buttons are different. That's a symbol from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and then those are the side ones. The buttons on the what's it called? The buttons on the vest are the same, but yeah, this type of suit is called. It's known. It's not. This technically isn't Harris tweed or Donegal tweed. It comes from a very specific spot, but it having all these flecks in it, that is highly desirable. If I wanted to sell this suit, I could probably make a chunk of money on it from what I paid, because you just do not find it. You do not find Cartier suits, especially not in Donegal tweed. And then obviously they would not have my custom made buttons on them because I made them. But it's just stuff like that. Like it took me like 2 whole days to custom make all the buttons for these. To make all the, I went in the I can't remember what software I used, but I went in and I made all these designs, each one of these for every single one. And then I printed them out. I painted them from thought to actual thing. It took me like 3 days. But yeah, I thought I I met some of her other family while we were there that were a bit nicer, and they asked me if I did investment banking, so they thought it was a pretty good suit. That and that's a cool like old Polo Ralph Lauren tie I found that just so happened to fit everything, fit the motif. But I like it. I think it's a cool suit. I think it's a cool suit. I think it'll be the one that I'm hopefully a long time from now buried in. That's for sure. But yeah, all together for the whole thing, I'm out like $160. That's shipping and all. And that is somebody for that suit back in the day. Let me put you. I'm gonna put you back on my thing here. Back in the day, somebody paid oh my god money for that suit. I don't know if you know anything about brands, but oh my god, at how expensive Cartier is. And I'm not a brand person. I could care less. I don't know. It's not really anything to me. But I mean, if you can for cheap, why the heck not? If you ain't paying that kind of crazy money, why not? Why not make it cool? But I've got a video. I took all the video of me painting it. I took all the video of me like designing it and all the iterations of designs I went through. Because I have like a pile of buttons over there that I went through, me trying to figure out what I liked and what I wanted to actually end up with. And it went through a couple of phases, but that's where we ended up. Each one of the buttons on the cuff are a part of a season in the show, basically. Everything has to do with one of the bad guys from a season of the show. Ah, shoot. How did I have this hanging? I guess that was it. I don't really even know. But yeah, I'll be the only one in this whole world that's got that. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They do have a JoJo suit, funny enough, but it doesn't look any. It kind of looks a little bit in a way about that, but you'll never find one of those, especially in a size like you want. It's never gonna happen, not in a million years. And they were made by I think Gucci or something like that. So some stupid expensive brand. There's no way I'd be able to afford one new. That's for sure. No chance. I've got, I'm good if we can hit all the bills and buy the groceries at the end of the week. Which that's another thing, like I was saying earlier about Japan that I mean it's both fortunate and unfortunate about Japan. Is it's like it sucks for them that their money isn't worth as much as it used to be. But holy crap, like just living over there is so much cheaper if you can make your money in US dollars. Oh my God, it's so much cheaper. Like we spend right now, and that's conservatively. I don't know if you buy groceries or where your situation is, but conservatively, with me, my wife, and our kid. What was that? Oh, Shigo fell down. That scared the crap out of me. I thought somebody had gotten in here. I was about to freak out. My wife just texted me and said she was getting in bed. So I was like, I know it ain't her. But anyway, conservatively, $300 a week right now for me, my wife, and my kid just to live, and that is just it's so much. And she cooks dinner every night. We eat out maybe once a week, and it's either Arby's or Chick-fil-A. So like we're not splurging. I'm not going crazy, and it is hard. I mean, heck, even if you're making like if you're working somewhere, it's hard to flip. That's a lot. You're talking $1,200 to $1,500 a month just in groceries. Like that's not really even counting the weeks that I gotta buy diapers. I gotta buy sleep diapers. I gotta buy whatever new thing little dude needs, because he grows and he needs this thing and he needs that thing. We had to buy him a walker last week because he's trying to walk now. Had to get him one of those jumpers the other day, or before that, because he was getting more active. He needed something to do. He needed to be able to bounce around. Stuff's expensive. Being an adult got expensive quick in America. Whereas, like, my brother sent me a picture like a couple hours ago of onigiri that he was buying from the shop. He bought from a 7-Eleven. The rice balls that are like, it was a buffalo chicken rice ball, which sounded amazing. I really wanted to try it anyway. Buffalo chicken rice ball, and it was 250 yen. And it was a pack of 3 of them. 250 yen. That converts over to about $1.50. So, $1.50, and he can have a whole meal. Whereas, shoot, you can't make $1. You can't buy any meal in America for $1.50 unless it's ramen. That crap ain't good for you. The ramen that we ate definitely ain't good for you. It'll tear your gut up. Not only that, I'm not eating ramen all the time. I gotta have meat. I gotta have something that's got some stuff in it. Ah, shoot. This is getting late now. Well, well, well. I think I might actually get around to calling it a night. I didn't get a whole lot of done, but it's cool talking. I really appreciate you guys, or you, especially you, Sylvia. I appreciate you tuning in and hanging out. That was really cool. Be sure to sub, and if you do, I'm gonna try to start making more videos in a more consistent pattern, and I'm gonna try to start now that I've spent 150 bucks on this fancy AI camera thing. I'm gonna try to start utilizing it a bit more. And I usually have a little bit better quality of stream. Like I said, I wasn't streaming off of my phone this time. I was streaming off an old phone I have because I was going to take some photos. But I did not take any photos. Really cool pants. Got some fancy, they call them Cookie Crisp camo, desert camo pants. They're actual legit old Wranglers. Oh, that is spicy hot. I'm going to go eat me a giant bowl of cereal and pass out. I got to do a little bit of work before I go head to the bed, though. But if you're still here, thanks for tuning in. There's like 4 people. Every time I go to get out of here, there's always a bunch of people show up. A bunch of people start talking. I might hang out. I might chill out a little bit longer. One of the 4 of you, 5 of you, 6 of you, whatever it is. Oh, 2, down it goes. Well, if you're here, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. And appreciate you stopping by. Help me get to, I think I might have got to 100 subs. I might have already hit that. If not, help me get to 100 subs. Let me check. I'm gonna see if I got the 100 subs yet. If I got to 100 subs, I'm gonna be pretty proud of myself. Nah, I'm still at 98. Hey, I hit 100. No, I did. I did hit 100. Cool. That's cool to see. Well, well, well. You know, I'm sure somebody'd have a laugh at that. It's a milestone. One day I'd like to live in Japan and run around and film my adventures with my kid and my son, and that's 100 subs is that's 100 closer than I was to doing that. That's for sure. I think I need 500 or something like that. to start even being eligible for ad revenue. I don't know what it is. But I appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody here. And I'm gonna do chess out. Everybody have a good night.